You can't put a left pedal on the right side, on the crank side. And vice versa. You can't put a right pedal on the left side. They're specific for each side. On this side, the left side. To tighten, you go anti-clockwise, and to untighten, you go clockwise, which is the opposite of what you think for everything else. It's just this left pedal that's the odd one out. And it will probably even have a mark somewhere telling you what pedal it is. With the right side pedal, the crank side, I'm unloosening it by going anti-clockwise, which is a normal way that you do these things. And that has right on it too. And it's for a simple reason, because the threads go the opposite ways from each other. And it's for a simple reason, mainly to do with the left side. If that thread was normal, when you were pedalling, it might become loose because you'd be pedalling towards loosening it. So they made in bikes that the left pedal, it goes anti-clockwise, so that when you're pedalling, if anything, you're tightening it rather than loosening. So that's what it's all about. I could be wrong, but I think it's usually 15mm for this pedals, which are 9/16 of an inch axle size, which is the common size by far. By axle size, really I'm meaning the part that connects with the crank. So this is usually 9/16 of an inch, they call it, especially if it's a 2 or 3 piece crankset. If it's a 1 piece, it might be half an inch, so that's 8/16 of an inch. But for most of us, they're 9/16 of an inch, and that's good because that means you can buy pedals and there's a good chance that they'll fit, you know. The thread is usually 20 TPI, which is 20 threads per inch, so they're counting them there. And I think that you can take that for granted, really. This is a Shimano Holotech 2 crankset, nothing shown there. Most people I think have the square taper type, which are sort of, well, the older type, but plus they still use it a lot. I think the Holotech 2 is actually better. This is a 2-piece crankset, because nothing's shown there. Plus the bearings are on the outside, they're external. So it's sort of, it's made, they were saying something like it takes the load out, balances it or something, I don't know. So if you buy a new bike online and it comes with the pedals off, you know, this is where people might get stuck with the left pedal, you know. Here I'm loosening it by going clockwise, which is the opposite that you think, you know. So this is the odd one out, the left one, and it's so that you're not loosening it as you pedal, just in case. It's a great idea, isn't it? This is 9/16 of an inch, as most of them are. It's probably a 15mm thing you'll want, spanner, and it'll be 20 TPI, almost definitely. Alright guys, I've given you a best. The pedal will probably say on it, so you know, because you can't swap them. They're not the same. A left pedal has to be a left side. Left side is the odd one out because you're going anti-clockwise to tighten it. That's the opposite of everything else that we know where you do this. There's probably one or two other things, but it'll always be for that reason probably, because you don't want, when you're pedaling, it to become loose. So when you buy your 10k bike online, you don't need to phone up and say you can't get the left pedal on. There's something wrong with it. You want your 10k back and that, you know. Yeah, but it's actually you. I'm making a mess of this, but this is the crank side one, the right hand side one, and I'm going clockwise to tighten it. Alright guys, there's my best info. Left is the odd one out. You need to tighten it by going anti-clockwise. Anti. Right, you tighten normal. And there's some other info for you. I think the axle, that thing that they call there, that's what I'm calling it. I don't know if anybody knows the name of it, but 9/16 of an inch is almost certainly what it will be, apart from the ones that are half an inch, which is 8/16 of an inch. But I think most of us are 9/16 of an inch. 2 or 3 piece cranksets are. Apparently the ones with 1 piece crankset are more likely to be half an inch. I don't know. Gemini said that those will be cheaper bikes or kid bikes. I don't know. It's actually 14.29 millimetres, but nobody seems to call it that, and they refer to it as 14 millimetres, but nobody calls that either. Everyone uses 9/16 really, and you'll probably need a 15 millimetre spanner, like so. Alright guys, leave online bike retailers alone. Don't be phoning them saying you can't get a left pedal on, okay? You want your £10,000 back. Leave them alone. It's you that's at fault.